The Producers Guild is an amazing organization. I have found lifelong friends here. I have learned what it means to be a TV producer before I was a TV producer. I literally picked up the phone and called 10 people, and 4 of them called me back immediately, and I got to ask them, what does it take? What do I need to do? What's different from film to TV? So I think there's this great fellowship of people that you can reach out to, and anyone who calls my office and says they're from the Producer Guilds goes to the top of the call sheet. And I think that's how it is for all of us. It's a real great group of people that care about what we do. We're not competitive. I feel like there's a lot of places in the world where we're in this antagonistic sort of or adversarial sort of relationship. I mean, you turn on television all the time and the news is happening. This is one place where we can all come together and help each other reach our dreams. One of the things we're working on at the Producers Guild in the next couple years is a PGA essential practices for safe and fair working environments, and especially concentrating on the unscripted world where there are no unions that are regulating it. And it's a little bit like the Wild West, and we've heard from our members that there are some unsafe practices and long working hours and they're not getting compensated. So we've put together a list of basic ways to treat the producing team that we're hoping to socialize to the rest of our community and to the entire industry. We also have a very active indie film committee, and we have a bunch of initiatives there, and we're working closely with the other guilds, SAG and WGA, to help independent producers not to have to sign personal guarantees anymore. Basically, when you make an independent film, the unions ask you to put a big bond up, a lot of money that comes right out of your budget, and sometimes doesn't come back for 2 or 3 years. So it's really difficult, one, to manage those budgets, but on the other end, they're asking producers to sign a guarantee so that if the residuals and royalties are not paid in 2 or 3 or 4 years on that film, that you're personally liable for that. And oftentimes, they come to you the day before you start principal photography. So as a producer, our job is to get that production going. It's really difficult not to just sign it and pray. And we're begging everyone in our guild, do not sign those guarantees. We're working on a way so that we have a collection account management agreement that SAG and all the other unions have signed on to, so that will supersede the need for a producer to actually sign away sometimes their future house, because and the way it can affect you is that a distributor or a payroll company can go out of business from the time you make your film until it's released. And if that happens, they can't go to those companies, or they go to those companies and there's no money. They will literally come back to you. And unfortunately, I've been one of those producers. So don't sign personal guarantees. Our primary initiative is really create the feeling of one guild. We've grown tremendously in the past number of years. We're over 7,000 members now, and we represent everyone from the producing team, from coordinators to supervisors to producers, executive producers, and everyone has different needs. And so what we're really trying to do is make sure that everyone's needs are addressed. I think that we've been a mission-driven guild for the past number of years, working on the producer's mark and getting that through, and that gives us a great amount of power in the industry. That we control those marks and that we vet who's producing feature films. And so I think that we've now, that's in the past, and we've done it. We have to actually keep it up. But now we can look more inwardly and see with our 7,000 members, what's the next step. So I feel like our guild is moving from more of a mission-driven guild to a service-driven guild. Well, the producer's mark was thought of to counteract the amount of producers that were being listed on feature films. And many times the generating producer or the originating producer of a project didn't have control over whose name got put on their films. We're not like the WGA or the DGA where you have to go through a process. And so one of the things we wanted to do was really have a place where people could come and figure out who was really responsible for getting that film produced. And so it took a long time because we had to get all of the studios to agree, and then the mini majors and everyone down the line. And it was a huge amount of behind the scenes with Hawk and Mark Gordon going and asking and basically saying to the studios, let's just do the right thing. There are people that are really working really hard to get these films made, and sometimes other people are slipped in because it's just something that we need to do to get our films made, and we'd really like a way to just show who the people who got this film made and who had the preponderance of the producing duties and who fulfilled them. I think it's really important, and Hawk Koch and Mark Gordon deserve so much credit for taking their own personal clout, for going to their relationships and really pleading with people and telling them this is the right thing to do. There wasn't really anything in it there's no money, the people aren't getting anything for it. It's really about, should we show to the world and to our industry who are the people that are responsible for getting this film where it is, and they convince people to do the right thing. Well, I think that we want the Producers Guild to be the leader in the conversation with our industry about how to make our content easier to buy legally than it is to pirate. And we are really poised to be the Switzerland of our industry, and we're taking great steps with the technology industry and the entertainment industry to bring them together for a conversation that's really important and affects all of our future. One of my big mantras is that you don't have to remember the truth, so you might as well tell it. And so I think that it's really important in our business, especially when we're working together as colleagues, is just to be straight with people. And I've shown people films that I've done, and I really say, just tell me the truth. And so for me, it's a great mantra to live by in our business. We need to diversify. And when I came into this business, I thought of myself as a film producer. I come from the technology business, so content was always a word in my vocabulary, but during my daily work, I had a film slate. And I think that what we all can encourage each other to do is look at our slates as story slates, and then look and see what's the best place for those stories to be told. And we have so many screens, big, small, micro, to tell our stories, that I think it's an exciting time as producer.